Okay, now let's take a look at student error number 2 of the free body diagrams portion. This free body diagram says draw one for when Christian is accelerating. And it says draw Christian and the skateboard as if it's one object. Make sure to label what force is pushing on him. So in this case, I've included another drawing on the side to show what is actually happening. Notice that Christian here is standing on a skateboard and he's pushing on the ground backwards. And when he pushes the ground backwards, he actually moves forward. So first of all, let's start with the freebies where we know that Christian is on Earth, so he has some weight to him because gravity is pulling him down. He's not in free fall, so we know that something is supporting him, so there must be normal force. Now that we've gone out of those things out of the way, we got to figure out which way is Christian actually being pushed. Now notice that Christian is pushing backwards, but Christian is actually moving forward. So this force over here of Christian pushing backwards is Christian exerting a force on the ground. It is not a force that Christian himself feels. If this is the force that Christian feels, he would be moving backwards. But we all know that Christian moves forward, so there must be a force that pushes Christian forward. And that force is friction, so this force should have been over here on the right. Now, I know a lot of students are confused as to, wait a minute, Christian is going to the right, and if he's going on to the right, isn't friction going to go against Christian? Yes, friction always goes against the movement of the object. However, this friction is going against the foot's movement, right? When Christian wants to move his foot back, the friction force pushes his foot forward. And the reason why Christian moves forward is because the friction pushes his foot and him and the skateboard forward. So if you're confused as to why the friction force should be pointing to the right, you got to think that friction goes against movement, but it's going against Christian's foot. So there's two reasons why the friction force should be going to the right. Reason number one why the friction force should be going to the right is that Christian goes forward, so the force pushing him must be pushing him forward. The second reason why the friction force is going forward is that friction goes against movement, and it goes against the foot's movement, not against Christian's movement. Because Christian is not the person rubbing against the floor, his foot is. So the friction is going to go against his foot, therefore pushing his foot forward, therefore Christian pushing Christian forward as well.